Hey, welcome to PCMag Live. I'm Samara Lynn here with Sasha Segan, and we have a really packed and really full show for you today. There's a lot of tech news going on, so we'll get to that. We'll answer a reader question, and we will show you our one cool tech thing for the day. So let's get right to the news. Big news today, Facebook turns 10 years old, Sasha.
Yeah, I mean, wow. Talk about a website that has changed how we relate to other humans in our lives. Facebook is by no means the first social network, but it has become the definitive social network for most Americans, for sure. It really took the genre that was established by things like Friendster and MySpace and took it to a much broader base of people. I mean, the thing that strikes me about Facebook is that unlike MySpace, which was really for young people, or Friendster, which was really for a small group of early adopters, Facebook became for everyone, and it became this broad platform. At the same time, what does it mean that the broad platform for all social communication is no longer the open web, but is this proprietary system that doesn't really like to share with other parts of the web? Right,
right. And now we have this new Facebook paper, which is kind of ingrained with all the news today. It really is becoming like the center of our news. Our daily news,
I mean, that's what they're trying to do.
Right.
I mean, if you look at the way Facebook has changed over the past 10 years, of course, they started out as just a website focusing on people at college, people at Ivy League schools. That gave it a little bit of an ambitious viewpoint for people. People wanted to be like the Ivy League kids. Then they bought Instagram to help it keep the younger audience who apparently don't like to read or write words. They only communicate in pictures because they are illiterate. And now their big challenge is mobile. Like, they haven't done very well with things like Facebook Home, with the Facebook phones. Is Facebook Paper? Are these various individual mobile apps for different features? Is that going to be how Facebook becomes the defining way we interact with people and information on our phones?
And two big questions. Will we be talking about Facebook in another 10 years? And I wonder how many books, plays, great things could have been written without Facebook in the last 10 years. So it's a lot of big time suck. But anyway, we'll keep our eye on that. So the other big story of the day, Nadella is in. Microsoft has made it official. He is Microsoft's new CEO.
Yeah, as I was saying earlier today, Hipster Glasses is now the CEO of Microsoft. Love his black frames, if you've seen them on the Microsoft website. Oh, yeah, yeah. But now, we talked about Satya Nadella last week. Actually, Samara, you've met him.
I heard him speak at a keynote.
Okay, you heard him speak. You were talking about, you were talking about how brilliant he is.
Yes, absolutely.
But you also did this column last week about how maybe the server enterprise guy is not the best guy to solve Microsoft's problems in the consumer space.
That's right. Many of you disagreed with me very vocally.
Now, two other things came out today. First of all, Bill Gates is going to be coming back to play a larger role in technology and products. That may solve part of the consumer question, because Gates is Gates does have a lot of views and visions about consumer products.
Right.
But also, Nadella put out his email to Microsoft employees where he described, quote, a mobile and cloud-first world and a software-powered world. Now, I'm trying to read deeply into those phrases for his philosophy, and here's my guess. He's going to spin off Xbox in the next year.
What do you mean? Can I elaborate on that subject?
Okay, so he's talking about a software-powered, mobile and cloud-first world. That tells me he does not see Microsoft as primarily a hardware manufacturer.
Gotcha.
And I think he is going to go into Microsoft, the creator of platforms, Microsoft, the operating system company, Microsoft that works with partners, Surface, out of here. Okay, Xbox, out of here. Microsoft is a software company, not a hardware company.
Well, that makes sense, because he was the big push behind the cloud OS. The enterprise platform has gotten very cloud-based under his direction, so that really does make a lot of sense.
Right, and I don't think Xbox is going to cease to exist, but I think he's going to spin it off into a separate company that's going to be closely associated with Microsoft, but his Microsoft is going to be very software-focused.
Well, there's definitely one thing for sure. We're all going to be watching very closely the direction Microsoft goes in. So our next story is about Samsung. Samsung's moving the Galaxy S5, something with...
Yeah, okay, so
okay.
We thought up until now that Samsung's Galaxy S5, which will of course be possibly the hugest Android phone of the year, would be released in mid-March in London. However, yesterday we get these invites to Samsung Unpacked 5 at Mobile World Congress in Barcelona at the end of February. Now, you have to guess what they're releasing at Samsung Unpacked 5 because the name of the event is 5. Which makes me think that they just want to take advantage of the fact that everyone in the mobile industry is going to be in Barcelona for Mobile World Congress. The product's ready. They're going to show us the Galaxy S5. So the question is, what is going to make the Galaxy S5 interesting and not have people just say, you know, oh, you know, Samsung's jumped the shark. Time to start looking at what LG is doing.
Isn't that kind of what happened with the previous, the S4?
Yeah, I mean, the S4 was a good phone, but some people were underwhelmed, especially by the build quality, by the flimsy plastic Samsung uses, and by Samsung's tendency to throw every possible feature anyone has ever heard of into their phones, as opposed to having a little more editing. So you wonder, like, I've seen rumors about the S5. It might have a 5.2-inch screen, metal body, 16-megapixel camera. My number one question about the S5 is it going to have editing? Is it going to have a point of view? Or is it going to have 8,000 features, 80% of which most people will ignore?
Well, you'll be at Barcelona.
Yeah, so I'm going to be there. We're going to have a team of 3 guys there, me, Eugene Kim, and our editor-in-chief, Dan Costa. We're going to be taking a look at this Samsung announcement. You know, whatever the S5 is, it is going to be the big news of Barcelona.
So stay tuned for our coverage. It'll definitely be full, and you'll get all the information on that. So our reader question happens to be about phones. So
and
perfect,
Spain.
You're here. Yes, and Spain. So Peter, via email, is traveling to Spain and then briefly to Rome and Greece. He wants to know what's the best SIM card to get for his unlocked phone, Sasha.
Now, the question here is whether to use a U.S. SIM card, like from AT&T or T-Mobile, to use one of those roaming SIM cards like Telestial, or to buy a local SIM card in Europe. Now, it turns, there's 2 answers here. One, if you're on one of those awesome new T-Mobile plans, the T-Mobile value plans where you get the 20 cent a minute international roaming, unlimited text, unlimited international data, you stick with that. You stick with your T-Mobile plan. You just keep going. You go all over Europe, have a great time, spend no money. It's terrific. If you're not on that T-Mobile plan, and I know Peter isn't, in this particular case, European local SIM cards roam to other European countries. So what Peter needs to do is he wants to go to a cell phone shop in Spain, buy a Vodafone U16 SIM, ask for the European roaming add-on, and he'll be able to use it in Rome and Greece if he's going mostly to Spain. The big international roaming SIM cards like Telestial are if you're going to be in a whole bunch of different countries, in different regions of the globe, or if you're going to a country where it's really hard to actually buy a SIM card, like, say, China, where all the user interfaces are in Chinese. So, Peter, the answer is go to a Spanish SIM card shop, buy a Vodafone U16, install it. You can use it in all your countries.
There you go. Or you can leave your phone home, but that's what I would do. Anyway, okay, so our one cool thing is...
Yeah, so can you smoke this?
I would be if you could.
Yeah.
That is a tiny hardware firewall by TP-Link. And this was reviewed by our analyst, Famita Rashid. And let me tell you something. Famita is our networking security appliance analyst. She does not give editor's choices very easily. She gave this device an editor's choice. This is a kind of a 3-in-1 device. It's a router, it's a hardware firewall, and VPN. And you can see it's really cool. It's got gigabit Ethernet, and it's got a USB port. And you can take this thing, let's say like a Starbucks, and right away you have a hardened firewall, you have a VPN, you have an access point. Yeah, you have an access point where you can have others jump on and share. You can create your own secure wireless hotspot. It's about $65, very portable. And it's a very interesting gadget. It's also dual band, so you get both 2.4 and 5 gigahertz bands with that little guy. So the review is up, and check it out, especially if you're traveling around a lot and you're looking for that sort of capability. and it's on our site.
Great. Maybe I'll bring it to Mobile World Congress.
Good idea.
Okay, well, that's it for PCMag Live today. Thank you for joining us. We will be back tomorrow with more tech news, more cool gadgets, more reader questions. And thanks for watching. We'll see you soon.
Bye.